But we're gonna do some sap. Okay. And my sap lobby is still up. Look at the bubble chat, dude. Hold on, let me refresh it. That was so good. Let me save it. Create a new playlist. My playlist will be LB Beaches. There we go. So I always have it. Okay.
Wake me up!
34 MKD50! Holy moly!
Save me!
Alright, everyone. I'm gonna remake the sap room. I'm remaking the sap room. Thank you, 34MKD50. Because, like, I made that sap room, like, 3 hours ago. And I doubt anyone there. You love the new notification? It's the same one, dude. Wake me up inside. I can't wake up inside. Na 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 na. Okay, and we're watching a True On episode for the Sleepless, yeah. We're watching a True On episode. Good night, sleep well. About, oh god, it's still there. Leave. Ah, okay, well then I'll be done. I'll get it done. I'll just have to be ruthless, dude. Get in for sap. LB2. My gifty not work? Maybe it came just before. No, I didn't see any gifty. But yeah, get in. We're gonna be listening to True On. Alright. We are like sort of like 1/5 through the lamest show on earth part 2, but don't worry, like you literally don't need to have the context. Thank you, James Jr.'s good for the tier 1 sub.
Oh my god!
You'll see, like it'll be completely fine. Finally, True On. Oh, Rick, you're back. Okay, Rick has been waiting for 3 hours for me to get back to sap and True On.
When I say this next thing.
Okay. So we're gonna go back a bit, but this is all just about Elon Musk. You'll pick it up very quickly if you're worried, alright?
Stanford, for electric cars, which of course Tesla doesn't use. They use lithium-ion batteries. But Elon Musk loves money. He loves the internet. He moved to San Francisco at basically the perfect time. He interns at several companies, and he works at a video game company at some point. Which those keep popping up in this story, and they will continue to pop up in this story, even though I didn't write that in the notes because I figured Liz would delete them. But he's interning at this company when a salesman from the Yellow Pages walks in and clumsily tries to sell the company on basically an online version of Yellow Pages. And Elon, listening to this guy's like, he doesn't understand how the internet works at all, but I do. So he takes his idea for an online version of the Yellow Pages, which, by the way, I feel like every website back then was an online version of the Yellow Pages.
Well, it's like, what else is a website going to be?
An online version of the Yellow Pages.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, White Pages?
Pink Pages.
Yeah.
Like the French. Remember we did that?
I believe Pink Page got shut down.
In France?
Oh, no, what is that? Oh, wait, yeah, we did talk about that.
Oh my
yes,
God.
yeah. I'm sorry. I've done 5,000 episodes. You expect me to remember every color page? So he starts this company.
Get in for sap.
Along with his brother, Kimball Musk.
Yeah, Kimball.
Uh-huh.
Real character.
Allegedly. Well, a lot of allegedlys about that guy. But
Allegedly not a cowboy, even though he refuses to take the cowboy hat
Kimball,
off.
if you're listening to this, I know your secret. I know about your house parties. I know about the cakes. I know your secrets. I talked to a couple of people. And if you want to make them go, actually, I'm just joking when I say this next thing, but if you send me a bunch of Bitcoin, I won't say this shit on episode 3. Anyways, so they start this company called Zip2, which is like the Yellow Pages for the internet. And
here's my thing.
Yeah. Oh, great. You got a thing.
Thank you. Go there.
Is it zip to something? Like, are we zipping to? Like, is it like the internet gets you to zip to what you need?
What the fuck does compact mean?
Or is it like, is there a zip 1?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what the.
It's got to be like we're
Zip
zipping
one.
to something. I don't fucking
so
know. That's not even the
stupid.
original name of the company. That was the better name that they thought of. It is, yeah. So they start this company, and their
wait,
whole
don't
thing,
worry,
and
I'll wait.
this is kind of why I think, I mean, among other reasons, think the Stanford story is fake. Because what's the story of everybody who starts an internet company?
They always have to be like, oh, it's out of the garage. Well, we're working in the basement.
Dropped out of
That's
college.
right.
We dropped out of
It's like
college.
this every
We don't have
single
anything.
time I s-
Oh, sure. Maybe the government funded our entire
This is
project.
literally my content. Like every single day, it's just like, yeah. So come back. Welcome in, Shasta.
Like, don't look at that. Don't ask me about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So his whole thing is he and his brother were living together, gay. So Elon has like several journalists I could freaking mention learn to code, obviously, and so he's building this freaking website, and his brother, I assume, is, well, I know what you were doing, Kimball, but I can't say, or maybe I can if you don't pay me. Just kidding. So, they hire some salespeople. They're going around and trying to get people to sign up. One thing that Elon would do, which we were talking about this earlier when we were basking in the sun. I know I said this last episode, but we also actually it wasn't sunny today. We were sitting sweating all day.
It was very hot.
Yeah, it was really hot. One thing we were talking about earlier is that Elon loves a good fake presentation.
Yeah, this is, there's a couple things that continue to come up throughout his life and this story, like that.
Can you recommend any funny podcasts? Fear and True Anon. Do I seem like the kind of person that listens to a lot of podcasts? I really hope I don't seem like that kind of person. Oh god, okay. Get in for sap.
At that point, just feel like, just sort of like practices that he leans on.
Yes.
This would be one of them.
Yeah.
My man loves to fake a presentation. And what he would do here is he would actually just build these fake supercomputers where he would build a case on the outside of a computer that just was a bigger looking computer.
Yes.
So it looked like a really, really big computer. Like it was like a tiny computer wearing
Yeah.
a costume of a bigger computer.
And so he would bring potential clients into the Zip2 office and show them this just big ass computer.
That's fake.
Yeah, that's fake. I'll be honest.
Bro, this is some Theranos shit, okay? Like, get in for sap, by the way. We're gonna start in a few seconds, okay? But, like... Yeah. Get in for sap.
It's a pretty good idea.
I knew you were going to say
It's
that.
a good idea.
Because you got a scammer brain.
No, but I'm saying, dude, it's in the time period, right? Like late 90s, early 2000s.
No one knew. They would be like... And also, at that time, no one was into tiny. They wanted big.
They wanted big, but also that's when people still said supercomputers.
Yeah.
Now everybody's got a freaking supercomputer
And guess
in
what?
their pocket.
It's in your pocket.
It's crazy.
It's in your
It's
pocket.
crazy.
Exactly, 34MKD50. Who else am I waiting for sap?
Liz, there's a quote here that I'd like you to read in your least racist accent.
I'm not doing any accent.
Okay,
Because
but
all of them are racist.
listener, imagine she is doing an accent here.
My mentality is that of a samurai. I don't know how to say this. I just realized.
Just try it. No, try it. Just
I
try
don't
it.
know.
Just
I
try
don't-
it. No, it'll just try it.
I just realized.
My mentality.
My mentality is that of a samurai. I would rather commit seppuku
That's pretty good.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
than fail. Anyway, that was supposed to sound very cool
Okay.
and weird, but now I just sounded like a lame...
Okay, Brace is a weeb, confirmed. Okay, alright.
I sounded like a little girl.
Okay, I'll do it in an accent then.
Oh, God.
My
No, so yeah, Elon was like super, super locked in. He was all over the place. He was in charge of everything. He would like stay there at night and go in and change the employees' code to like what he wanted it to be. He's
Yeah.
super, super control freak.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's something like Elon, I will give him this. He does have the psychopath's work mentality.
Yeah,
Like,
well, he's a psychopath.
yeah, exactly. But like his whole thing, he's one of these motherfuckers who's like, I got rich because I work 19 hours a day and sleep for an hour and eat mush.
Yeah, there's a lot of this is self-mythology, which we'll get into.
It does seem that everybody, though, throughout his work history is like, dude, he just wouldn't go home. Like
a lot of people seem to think he's an
All right.
asshole.
Yes,
We're gonna
yes,
start Sap in a
yes.
second.
Absolutely seems like an asshole. So as you can imagine, their business is doing maybe not so great. But, you know, again, it's a time
Well, who
when...
doesn't
We're
use
waiting on
Zip2
anyone?
now?
Actually, I still do use Zip2 in the back end for my...
Binging.
No, but for my...
You bing to the Zip2.
No, it's for my accent website. I teach people how to do accents.
Okay.
But yeah, so they get some investor money. They get about 3 million fucking bones from a venture capitalist. There's only one condition, and this is a condition, well, this happens a lot, let's say. And it's not like this is so unusual in business, but Elon seems to really get a lot of this. Elon Musk has replaced the CEO.
Yeah, that was their one condition that Elon had to
literally in
go.
30
Yeah,
seconds.
exactly.
Is there anyone we're waiting on?
The next CEO definitely does seem to be a better CEO than Elon. So
Yeah,
they sort
he
of
knew what he was doing.
Exactly. They changed their whole business model. They start going around to these news outlets like the damn New York Times and essentially pitching them like, hey, what if you did classifieds on the internet?
Oh, is it a new one?
And it worked.
It's a new
Yeah.
Yeah,
It totally
yeah.
worked. It totally worked, but Elon was cut out of it, basically.
Yes, yeah. And the thing is, Elon wanted Zip2, and this is like you were saying, this is another little insight into the mind of Musk. Elon wanted Zip2 to be in the public eye. He didn't like the fact that it would be like the New York Times like Zip2 page, but it would be like all New York Times branding, and at the bottom, in little fucking 6-point Arial font, say powered by Zip2.
I mean, famously, because everyone remembers this part of the internet history and how big this website was. So, of course, how could they forget how it all worked?
Exactly. But that's the thing is like we see that a lot with Musk, especially in the stuff that we cover in this episode, is that like he is a brand freak and his brand ideas fucking suck dick and balls.
Well, at this point they do, yeah. You got to give him credit for some of the Tesla stuff, but it is, this is his focus.
You really fucking
He understands
sucks,
how
dude.
important branding is. He understands how important the public image is. But it really is the only thing he focuses on. The CEO at the time, Sorkin,
Oh my god.
there were disagreements
Oh
over...
my god. Sans HRT dealer. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, motherfucker. Hold on. You don't need to do a manual pyramid. You're a fucking mod, okay? Yeah, I mean, Fosterbot fucks up all the time, but, like, you don't need to do a manual pyramid. I know that? Okay, alright, just checking. I'm just having fun. Okay, sorry. Okay.
over the priority of general visibility for the company. And the reporter in this piece was from this really, really good profile on Musk in Slate in like 1999, I think.
Start of term. Someone won.
But he said that Musk, the reporter asks the CEO if it's true, because there's this rumor going around that what Musk wants is to be on the cover of Rolling Stone, like as himself.
Yeah.
And he just says, yes, for Elon, that's what general visibility meant.
Lest you let Sorkin off the hook, though, he now runs a climate intelligence company advised by the Deputy Secretary of the Treasury to Obama, Obama's chief climate negotiator, and the chief data officer at Goldman Sachs. Their two biggest products are Flood Score and Heat Score, which is another little theme of this whole series, which is these weird fucking green freaks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and the climate business.
Yeah, the big business of climate is...
Climate change, anti-climate change. These Green New Dealers.
Yeah, these are the proto-Green New Dealers.
Yes. So Sorkin tries to merge Zip2 with City Search. That doesn't work. I think City Search is still around. You know what? I have no idea. That's just such a
City
I feel like
Search.
I feel like I do too, but I'm like, how would I remember?
It sounds like a thing that Yahoo bought
Yeah.
and then kept around, but everyone's like, I don't go to Yahoo unless I gotta like chat with my buddies about golf or play fantasy sports.
In my head, it's like Yelp, but I think I just might be making that up. I don't know.
I could see it.
Yeah, but maybe it's just the way it sounds. Anyways, that doesn't work. And in the fallout from that, Musk coos Sorkin.
Yeah.
Gets his ass out of there.
We will coup who we want.
Exactly. But he himself is outmaneuvered by the board. Oh. And honestly, to his motherfucking benefit, the company was sold to Compaq for $305 million. Kimball, by the way, not sure what work Kimball is ever doing besides stuff that is unmentionable but could be mentionable on here. Because all of this shit is like...
He's always getting paid. That's what he's doing.
Kimball is getting... Honestly, if Elon... Nothing else about Elon, he's getting his brother some money.
Kimball started selling Tesla stock last year.
Really? Well, he does have a expensive appetite. But the chef will keep his... Well, I'm not the chef.
Okay, here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Who names their kid Kimball? Is that a name?
Yeah, it's a name.
Have you ever met a Kimball?
I feel like it's a Scottish kind of thing. Kimball?
Okay, I'll be honest with you with Kimball.
Well,
it sounds like a South African name. Like Kimball, like of all of the names, even though it's not, it sounds like a South African name because of Kimberly, you know? So that's the only thing, you know? Kimball. Okay, I don't know then. What would you know about South Africa? Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, you're right. What would I know
Kimball
about
balls fit in your mouth. Okay. So, yeah. So Kimball gets 15 mil. Elon gets 22.
Yeah.
Which those numbers should be very attractive to Kimball. And they fucking dip out. You know, they're good. Elon is a millionaire at just 27 years old. And boy, do I wish that he had done something else that a lot of other famous people did at age 27. But he didn't.
No, he immediately moves to a new condo.
Baller.
And buys a McLaren F1.
Yes.
Now, this is $1 million car.
Yeah, literally just $1 million car.
And I gotta say, this thing, I mean, everyone says it's like, this is the best car in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know about cars. Mm-hmm. Funny enough, even though we're doing the show.
Yeah, well, these aren't cars.
I don't drive. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to drive.
No, me either.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're doing a show about cars. Neither of us know how to drive.
I actually just learned how to... Well, okay. I learned how to ride a bike recently.
I know. That's not a car, though.
Yeah, but it's...
And it's not like a small car. It's not like a bike is a small car.
You can learn how to put them on the road, though.
Anyway, this car is sick.
Yeah, it's badass.
It's pretty sick. But it's really lame that he bought this car.
Well, here's the thing. In that crazy Slate profile that we were talking about, the guy profiling him, who I don't have his name written down, but I assume he won't care because he's not gonna. He must be 9,000 years old now. He was writing for Slate in the 90s. Give me a break, or early 2000s. But he's like, even he got to acknowledge in the piece is like most like Silicon Valley millionaires are like, don't show off that they just bought a McLaren.
Dude, Elon shows off so much that he's like, I need to get press that I just bought this car.
He invites CNN down to like do like an unboxing video for his McLaren.
I gotta say also, thanks to the video evidence we have of this, he's balding.
Okay, so I said I was going to put this in the notes.
I know you didn't put it in.
I didn't put this in the notes. I can maybe do this as an addendum to the next episode. But
no, I think we should do it right now.
Okay, well, I don't have necessarily all the work. So I want to be clear here. Thick head of hair up here, right?
Oh, yeah, you got hair
Look at the hairline.
out the wazoo.
Oh, my God. I got... Actually, I've been told by a lot of people...
Is it full moon?
It could be if I turn... Okay. Anyways, but I have a thick head of hair, so I don't exactly... I'm not majoring in baldness studies at Elon Musk University, but this motherfucker, I mean, you can see this guy's scalp from 50 goddamn yards away.
Yeah. Talk about a full moon.
I mean, my God, exactly. The thing shines bright like a diamond, to quote Rihanna. But then something strange happened.
Yeah, I mean, he showed up like LeBron at the next playoff.
Isn't LeBron his hair?
Oh, you don't know about LeBron's hairline? No, LeBron's hairline changes every season.
Yeah.
similar to some, as jump shot. But
Yeah,
he,
of course I do, Hebrews.
you never know if it's going to be like back, forward. When he was in Miami, it got real
For
bad.
those joining, we are listening to Truanon and playing Super Autobet. It's the most chill shit in the world.
Some have alleged because perhaps of some enhancements he was doing down in the old Sunshine State.
Okay.
I am not alleging that. Others have alleged.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know why we're talking about this. We should get back to the show.
Anyways, Elon Musk has hair plugs, and actually,
Yeah.
we're fair here. We're magnanimous. Hair plugs do not always take. What? I just want to. We're magnanimous. Magnanimous? Magnanimous?
Magnanimous. Okay, braces me. This is me, chat. Like, this is me with pronunciation. And he's never heard anyone say it. This is me with paradigm. Like, I couldn't connect the word to the spelling. Shut up with talisman. I know it's talisman now, but for so long I said talisman until someone pointed it out to me. And now I have to say talisman. It's just like how I said esche for so long, esche. And now, like, my brain automatically corrected. I can't help it. Like, I have to take that joy away from you.
It's whatever.
Why'd you correct it?
But I just read the word. I don't know.
You can't fall back on that one every time.
But it's true.
Okay.
Who's saying that, especially around me? Anyways, we're fair. We're providing balanced coverage here.
Yeah. We're both sides. We could do a little crossfire both sides here.
But we're both. I'm saying we're both being fair here.
Right, but it's the balance. Fair and balanced.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
fair, I'm balanced.
Yes.
Okay.
Elon Musk hair plugs. Congratulations that they took.
That's what I told you.
Yeah.
I said that is an achievement because a lot of times they don't take.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Here's the other thing.
What?
Spoiler alert. I don't know if they're
True,
still.
robotic
They
music.
seem to be clinging on for dear life. Not at this time that we're in history
Yeah.
in episode 2, but
Current day?
Flash forward to current day. Just saw.
You know what I always say about J.K. Rowling? Okay, here's a story. Like, I have a mother who's, like, similar age to J.K. Rowling, okay? I think my mom's a bit older. But, like, J.K. Rowling is definitely going through menopause. And you know what my mom did to, like, keep herself from, like, overreacting to everything and not, like, having hot flushes all the time? It happens. This is what happens, like, to like, AFAB people, to women, to those that, like, are AFAB, is, you just get sort of fucked by menopause, okay? And so what they do is they put you on, and I'm not kidding, to those that know and have spoken to their mums about this, HRT, okay? My mum's on fucking HRT for her menopause. And it chills her the fuck out, dude. Okay? And I'm just saying, like, J.K. Rowling, like, you really just, like, should, just consider, like, some HRT. Like, really, like, it would help you a lot and stop making you, like, super reactionary about, okay, maybe not reactionary, but, like, you know what I mean? It helps you. Okay? HRT is really good for everyone who is prescribed to. Anyway.
From the event of, like a couple days ago, horrible. Like we said, looks like Donald Trump, who also probably...
Of course, hair plugs. Yes. So, back to this. 15 minutes ago, we left you. He had just bought a McLaren. He cashes out. He's out of Zip2. He's a big old millionaire now. By the way, he destroys that McLaren on a drive with his friend, according to the pretty friendly Vance biography of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
This is a quote from this. "Watch this. He floored the car, did a lane change, spun out, hit an embankment. What, did he have Tesla autopilot on? Which started this car spinning in midair like a frisbee. The windows and wheels were blown to smithereens and the body of the car damaged. Musk again turned to his companion and said, the funny part is it wasn't insured.
Dude, what?
Elon has
sorry.
friends.
He's
so
insure
true.
$1 million car.
I mean, he's probably
Hubris
he's
and
lying.
he's
Probably
He's
lying
lying
to the
somewhere. He's
author.
lying somewhere.
It's
He's lying
all-
somewhere.
This is the thing. First of all, there's no way he didn't insure the car. Second of all, this is what Elon does. He tells the author, Ashley Vance, who had incredible access, this kind of story to make him look like he's out of control, crazy, being like psycho. Look how frivolous he is with the McLaren. He's just like, ooh, left, right, never know where he's going to be. He's all crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's what he fucking wants.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a branding thing. So in 99, we're at the Woodstock 99 here. The
That was
dark,
a weird time.
bad vibes in 99. It was an evil year.
My sister was
he
born in
plows
'99.
$12 million of the money he made
She's good.
into his next venture, XCOM.
No, X.com.
Okay. Got to revise all of my notes. I couldn't figure that out. No, he starts X.com.
Which is a
I'm getting
horrible
destroyed in this
name.
game.
What? And honestly,
If you're new to SAP, the best way to learn is to be thrown into this. Okay, I've been playing SAP for years, and I'm still not as good as people who've been playing SAP for like months. Okay, you can like definitely beat me after a few rounds of playing. Okay.
that sounds like the kind of fucking business that Kimball would start.
Come on, Bobby, let's go, Bobby.
So he founds X.com with three other fucking morons. So he's the
Yeah.
lead shareholder due to his insane initial
Thank
investment.
you.
And that's the thing. And this is part of the Elon mythos
It's called SAP. Poo balls.
that
It's called Super Autopet. Sorry.
is actually is true. Is that Elon, that's rare to do, right? Because a lot of the time what you do in Silicon Valley is you start your dumb,
This doesn't work
pet,
anymore.
we come like suck off your dog or whatever thing, and then you sell that to another company, make a bunch of money, and then you have the clout
Okay.
to basically get funding from venture capitalists, whatever, for your next venture, right?
Right.
So you're funded from the start.
Sure.
Elon self-funds,
Yes,
so he can be in charge.
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's pretty rare. And so he what he does is so I guess we didn't say what X.com is. It's it's banking software.
Yeah, he calls it like an internet bank, but it's
Yeah,
not
it's not a
really.
bank.
It's not a bank.
It's not a bank.
It's kind of stupid.
Yeah, it's it's basically, who gives a fuck? It's like PayPal.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, spoiler alert, but you don't wait. Here's the thing. I'm not here to tell you what X.com did because I looked into it. I, in fact, read 2 books that talked about it, read a bunch of articles about it, and I still don't give a fuck. It was banking. It was like fake banking shit. It's like
it was
PayPal.
like PayPal. It was like a way to
my
pay
milkshake
people. But
brings all
imagine
the
this.
I don't
Hey,
know,
I'm
Sean.
gonna
Thank you for
X.com
the
you. I'm gonna
social
X you.
full
It's like,
month.
hey,
Totally.
don't do that.
Yeah, Kimball,
Thank
what the
you.
fuck? So he snipes a bunch of really talented coders from different places to build this thing, and immediately one of his co-founders accuses him of talking the company up too much in the press, and he says that Elon was promising the moon, the sun, the moon, and the stars to the media, and tries to initiate a coup against him.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. He splits with basically all of the workforce.
Yeah. Just a year after starting this company, he merges with the biggest competitor, which was at the time called Coinfinity. Mm-hmm. Horrible. But we now know and love them as PayPal.
Yes. So PayPal, of course, was run by this podcast's biggest backer, Peter Thiel, and Max Levchin. And of course, there are a million things to be said about the PayPal mafia. Ugh. None of which I give a fuck enough to say on this podcast.
I don't even want to say PayPal Mafia.
What? Liz, they killed like 3 of your cousins, dude. Like, I understand your reticence.
No, so they merged these companies. You might be thinking, wait, I thought Elon founded PayPal. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Leave
More like
Italians
he founded them down there.
So the companies merge, but all 3 of these guys have totally different ideas. Musk is like, he like believes in this idea of X.com so hard. He is like, this is the fucking coolest thing. This is the fucking coolest thing. We gotta be X.com. We gotta be X.com.
Yo, Rick,
and he gets them to like keep that name.
Yeah, I mean, X.com was the bigger company.
Prez!
What is life like on Bitch
Shake
Island?
my
I
ass
don't know,
while
I
I'm
think
playing
it was-
Beyonce. You wanna come fuck me? Then get in line, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Prez, for the raid. Thank you, Red Top Taken, for like the, you know, follow. Let me give you a raid, Prez. Shout out, Prez. Thank you. Alright, let's continue.
At the time, but the thing is like PayPal was a little more serious, and also was named PayPal, which like, okay, PayPal is kind of a silly name, but like it's for what it is, not the worst name.
No, it's
right?
it's your pal.
It's your PayPal.
It's your pal that you pay.
Exactly, and
actually
so
might work.
okay, you might be thinking, well, yeah, obviously,
no.
and everybody else involved with this also thought that, except for Elon Musk, who got to be in charge. And so, I mean, a big part of this is probably the fact that Elon Musk paid $1 million for the X.com name, which, by the way, he bought back from PayPal recently for undisclosed sum, thought to be like many millions of dollars. But he had everybody get 4 different X.com polo shirts, X.com frisbees, X.com stress balls, X.com basically everything. And everyone take the day off to see X-Men in the theaters.
Okay.
And they changed the PayPal site to X PayPal.
Which is this stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Exactly. And PayPal.
What is it, like the former PayPal?
And
No,
PayPaling
dude,
your
so
ex? What are you doing to make her
That
not
works
say
so
something? What are you,
well.
Kimball Musk? So.
But the thing is that's so fucking funny is it's not just us that can obviously see how stupid of an idea this is. They sent it to focus groups, repeatedly.
Multiple times.
Every single one was like, what is this, a porn site?
Exactly. Every woman thought it was a porn site. Like, and this is like, so obviously the people doing these focus groups, like, we know,
funny.
like the people who are commissioning the focus groups, rather, are not like,
they're looking for proof. They need
exactly.
They need to have
proof.
the receipts so they can be like, hey, Elon, everyone thinks it's stupid, not just us. But here's the thing. They were doing all of these in secret. And then Elon found out about one of them, immediately shuts it down.
Yes. Yeah. No, in fact, Elon, it was a like survey of X.com users, and Elon Musk was randomly selected, which was actually like a very low chance, and he like got super pissed. Like, he's like, what the fuck are you guys doing, blah, blah. From that Slate profile we were talking about earlier, in one conversation with Musk,
this just sort of shows you how like delusional Elon is. Like the fact that he still like went ahead with X.com for Twitter, destroying like so many years of branding. Like it blows my mind, dude. Like, yeah, Elon is he really is, dude. Like for real.
This man,
God.
I'm sorry, this man is. You're all thinking it. In one conversation with Musk, I asked him how he imagines the advertising for X.com will look. In this, as in everything else, Musk does not pretend to be an expert. His perspective is just that of a gifted amateur. You know the ads for Tide, Musk asks, where there's a name brand and a brand X, and brand X always loses? Well, our ads can be like that, except that brand X wins.
So I'm going to take that again because this is actually how it probably was said was, you know the ads for Tide? Where the name brand and the brand X, and brand X always loses? Well, our ads could be like that, except the X brand wins.
So, speaking of ex-PayPal, Peter and Max leave like 2 months after the merger because
the whole you know what's funny actually is that I've read that Thiel actually he said that he split with Musk because he said Musk didn't understand debt financing.
Really?
Which boy did Musk show him much he understands about debt financing.
Yes. But they said, I mean, this
Is this a commie podcast? Really? You really think that these are communists? Do you think communists are organized enough to like have a fucking podcast? Come on. Think with your head, chatter.
This is the sort of general story we hear is tech differences. In fact, that kind of becomes the cover for a lot of PayPal drama.
Sure.
And they were right. The website fucking sucked balls. It went down like once a week. Barely any of the fucking features worked.
I need to wake up. Can
here's
someone?
the thing. Dude, I wish that I was not. I mean, because I was like in my 30s in the early 90s, and like I was like kind of like a cool, like I went to a lot of like, rockabilly. I was like a heavy part of the rockabilly.
Well, the reason why you liked when you saw X.com, you were like, oh damn, my generation.
Exactly, this is me.
And actually, 50. Holy moly! With the 50 gifted subs, bro, we are at 2,020 subs. Fuck. I really should have set a sub goal for you guys. No, oiling for real. Okay, 34MKD50, if you want to oil someone up, if you really want to oil someone up, Samana is probably the most deserving person who's live at the moment. If you want to oil someone up, Tamana. I'll have Tamana's stream open so I can see if you do. I mean, I don't know if you can, but Tamana is like Hassan Head, also an oiler in Hassan's chat as well. But like, yeah, has been streaming for a while. But yeah, if you want to oil someone up, go for it. You haven't have tomorrow. You'll do it tomorrow. Go for it, dude. No stress. I mean, you chill. I'm just giving you like if you want to reach that fucking like thing, Tamana 100%, dude. Anyway, much love to you, 34MKD50. All right, let me continue.
Liz is saying that, but that is also in the focus groups. All of the men thought it was a Generation X kind of thing, and they were all like middle-aged men.
Generation X,
exactly. But fraud was rampant. The fucking thing. I mean, it's just
like the
like,
one thing you don't want in a PayPal site.
Yes. Musk's leadership was, to put it mildly, in question. As he seemed to be running the thing into the ground. I used some very ableist language in my notes here, so I'll skip down several sentences. But anyways, there is, once again, a coup.
Yeah, everyone seems to hate him.
Yeah. Yes.
Described as intensely annoying.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Everyone is. You gotta be honest. I feel bad for the guy because he is a genius, a visionary, a one-of-a-kind guy. And a lot of the times when you are really smart and a genius and like one of such a generation mind, people do think you're annoying.
The employees of X.com actually go straight to the board and get them to oust Musk as CEO.
Yeah.
That's how annoying he was.
Yes. And not only
this
that.
This was worker action.
Yes. Yeah. This is Google Union, except less people with multiple personalities. So yeah, the thing is, this is one of my favorite coups in the long history of Musk involved coups.
Okay.
Even some of our favorite American coups.
Yes. Yeah. This is one of my favorite ones.
It's pretty devious, even by Thiel standards.
Exactly. So Musk is. I don't know if I did actually mention, I believe in the last episode, that he has a little a romance with a girl named Justine at college. Yes. Well, now they are recently married.
Yes.
And they are jetting off on their really fucking boring sounding honeymoon to the fucking Olympics in Sydney.
Okay.
The fuck kind of honeymoon is that?
Dude, hold on.
What the fuck is that?
I mean, there are many instances.
Oh, that's so. Thank you, 34MKD50. Hold on, let's have a look. Did she even notice? Let's see.
Else.
Oh.
I guess the collectibles and stuff, you can get all of
amazing
stuff, which I pretty much did, except for that one lost book.
Did Samana even notice? Oh, okay. Maybe I'm too late. All right. Thank you, 34MKD50. Yeah, we gotta support the other Hasnavi heads and things like that. You know what I mean? Anyway. If I keep this up, I'll be famous on Twitch without streaming. 100%. Like, you've got enough followers to be able to stream now, and like, like, well, you need like to stream, not to stream to get affiliate. You need to stream, I think, for like 7 days and 30 days with a viewership of above 3. Gifted subcloud, honestly, respect. I mean, this is like how old streamers start. Like, you know that Hassan was oiled up by someone called XVX Colin, who also streams. And that's actually one of the biggest reasons as to why, like, Hassan is as big as he is because he had a very early oiler, XVX Collins. And 34MKD50 is my XVX Collins. It really is a big, like, yeah. Like, it is honestly, like, a very, very big help to, like, have someone who gifts, like, so many, like, an obscene amount of subs so early. And I'm also glad that 34MKD50 isn't, like, paying full price for it. Like, as all of the you know, the plebeian, like, Americans and everyone else is. Because I really appreciate it. It really does, like, spread out. I would never stream, though. Camera does not love me. That's okay. I mean, like, look, I've never had camera on. But, you know, like, it's up to you. But I'm just saying you could if you wanted to. I was also like that. When I started streaming, I had the followers immediately. But that is also just because of my notoriety and all of that sort of stuff. Anyway, all right. Let's play with friends, create. Let's get back to the podcast. What do you mean? The bear cameras are true right there. Okay, dude.
And you know, we'll get to their marriage and spoiler alert divorce.
Yeah.
She should have left him many times.
Yes. Well, I think she acknowledges that as well.
But the honeymoon to the Olympics.
Insane.
I'll be back in a second.
Sydney. I mean, isn't Sydney like San Diego? Can you imagine? San Diego?
It's I've been to Sydney and I got I took mushrooms out of a jar.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about
Yeah,
this.
okay. Yeah,
Oh my
so
God,
anyways.
I literally am a
but
human
yeah,
though.
insane
I've got
place to go on the
green
fucking
eyes
honeymoon.
and brown hair.
And while he's
One day-
on the
I'm
plane,
gonna do a
this coup
feet
takes
face
place and
reveal
he's
when
removed by
I
the
move
board
out
and
of my parents'
replaced.
house.
He
By the
gets
way,
off the plane,
I just want you guys
gets
to
the
understand,
news, and then
I literally live at my parents' house because I'm that much of a leftist. It's not because I don't make enough money. I've always made enough money to be able to move out of my parents' house. I just can't, like, deal with the fact that if I'm living in South Africa, I don't want to pay a landlord. I don't. Like, I refuse. I'd rather pay off my parents', you know, mortgage than, like, pay a fucking landlord. Are you kidding me, dude? You know what I mean? So that's why I still live with my parents. Yeah. Anyway.
gets right back on the plane
Yeah.
and comes back.
No supercomputer in his pocket then.
Exactly. And he fucking fails. But he's still involved in the company, right? They don't fire him or anything.
No.
They just remove him as CEO and they bring Teal, a serious personality, in.
Yes.
He makes nice with Teal, and in fact, he encourages the initial public offering.
Yeah, he wants that big payday.
And they go public, and then I think in less than a year, PayPal gets acquired by eBay for $1.5 billion.
I remember that deal. That was fucking huge.
I know. That was one of the greatest days of my life.
Elon makes $160 million from this.
Yes.
From fucking X.com.
And the thing is, I will say, Elon Musk was not a founder of PayPal.
No, absolutely not.
No, he was involved in the merger that led to what PayPal became, but he wasn't like, he didn't come up with PayPal.
Yeah.
Or anything
He
like
also
this.
was not a founder of Tesla.
Yes. But he does have an agreement with PayPal from his 2001 mutual release with the company that says that they have to refer to him as a founder.
Yes, this is also a running,
Yes.
a running motif.
Yes.
This is from a lawsuit that that comes a little bit later in his life. Musk has perpetuated this untruth with full awareness regarding the value that accompanies the title of founder of a startup that has the potential to become a successful large company. In the 1990s, Musk was involved in the creation and management of PayPal Inc.
My parents.
Musk involuntarily separated from PayPal
Anyway, I just didn't, also I wanted to say like 34MK50. My subs also are much cheaper, not as cheap as yours. But I also want to say like it's still quite a lot of money. So I don't want to like diminish, like you are spending a fuckload of money. Okay. I don't want to diminish that at all. And I just want to say I really, really appreciate it. And yeah. I also just think like in the beginning, like that's literally why I got so much of a boost and so many people found me. Like a lot of long-term chatters were original 34MKD50 subs. So I just want to say like I really, really, really appreciate it. Yeah.
Under a separation agreement and mutual release that was executed on or about
and
May
get in
4th,
for SAP,
2001.
motherfuckers.
The agreement with PayPal contains a deletion of reference to founders clause that reads as follows. The company, PayPal, acknowledges and agrees that Mr. Musk is a founder of the company and its predecessor, X.com. The company agrees that...
I honestly don't know how I ended up at the stream, but I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad you did as well, Eshe. You're lots of fun, and you helped me a lot with Elden Ring, and you're always there when I'm watching Am I the Arsehole, and you're the only one in the chat laughing, and I thank you so much for that. Because sometimes chat's really so... I hope you reach your goals. Thank you. Well, my goal is I'm going to be moving next year to the Netherlands so that I can have electricity and I can stream all the time. Because in South Africa, if you didn't know, like our electricity gets turned off quite... Not recently, but yeah, I want to move to the Netherlands. Hopefully, Netherlands is my first choice just because of like price wise, language wise, those sorts of things. And the fact that I've got an EU passport, so I'm very lucky. But it's also the fact that like you see 34MKD50, you're a car person. I never want to own a car. I want to just use public transport, and that's just I can't really get that here. And South Africa is a little bit at the moment. If you are someone who works online, which in my like job when I'm not working on stream, when I'm not streaming, like, I actually have a job. If you guys didn't know, and I can't deal with like having my electricity being turned off. It's just too much. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, I know. EU passport, I know. Are we gonna meet the other South African? BMG is not South African. What's the code? It's LB2. LB2, so ELBY2. Oh yeah, fizzes! Dragon Army. Yeah, this is what you're talking about. Fizzes, yeah. They're really good. Fizzy Taffy? Yeah. They're super cheap as well. These are fizzes. For everyone that doesn't know. Yeah. This is like the most South African fucking sweet you will find. They're so good as well. It's just like imagine like sherbet taffy. I would bring a bunch back and sell them. Dragon Army, wherever you live, if it's in America, I'm not so sure, but if you're in Europe, you're probably in America though, but you can find a South African store. Just type in South African shop. The thing is South Africans are so, like, there's so many of them that have moved out of South Africa. But there's always enough, like, of an economy to, like, have South African shops in cities. Like, you can find them all over Spain, you can find them all over Germany, you can find them all over the UK. I'm not sure about America. But you can get fizzes very, very easily. I'm pretty sure. You know? They're so good. They're literally, fizzes are amazing. And you don't want the green ones, you want the pink ones? That's it. The green ones are cream soda flavored, which is like another, like, South Africans love cream soda flavored. Like drinks and shit. I don't like it at all. But these ones are the best, and the sour ones as well. Anyway, but you can get this game on any platform, on Steam, on iOS, everything, anything like that. Just so you guys all know. Those that want to join. This is a really good though. All right, let's continue.
All references to founders of the company will be removed from the company's website and from the About section of all future company press releases. In addition, the company shall refrain from stating who the founders of the company are or making statements quoted in the press that undermine Mr. Musk's status as a founder of X.com or the company, meaning PayPal, when communicating with the media or other external third parties. So this, my dear listeners, is why you, sitting at home, think wrongly that Elon Musk is a founder of PayPal.
And considering the lawsuit that this is taken from against Elon Musk, it is that particular clause rings very, very, very ironic considering his status as the founder of Tesla and other people's, well, at the time, lack of that.
Hassan Her, are you still here? Hassan Her, you gotta get on Twitter, dude. Everyone thinks I'm Hassan Her because I posted that video. Hassan Her, are you still here? Please, please make a Twitter account. I will promote it. Please, dude. Please, dude. No, I'm not Hassan Her. Of course I'm not. Okay, by the way, important thing to know from, and this is just to other streamers, like smaller streamers that you know. Thank you, Nandre, for tweeting this. Reminder that Soft Giving rebranded to Brandfluence. They are going around offering paid sponsorships for charity streams. Now, this is different from, I want you guys to understand, this is different from the streams that Hassan did, because Hassan's charity streams that he did were always not paid for. And as far as I know, Hassan got the receipt seeing the money going to the charity. We will eventually find out when their tax returns come out if they were actually like a scam all along, okay? Because like Hassan has used them, all right? But Brandfluence, they are going around offering paid sponsorships for charity streams. They also pocketed almost half of their earnings from charity streams last year without adequately alerting donators to the amount they make from commissions, okay? I don't think this affects Hassan's streams at all because Hassan never got like a brand deal. He knew about this shit in like before. And I think after he did Soft Giving, he's now he does stuff with Tiltify. And I don't know if that's the same thing. But like, yeah, just remember Brandfluence is now Soft Giving. If you see like streamers doing that, just try to like direct them towards like things so they can see that Soft Giving seems like it's a bit of a fucking scam, okay? Anyway. Yeah, Tiltify is what Hassan did with the last thing, and Tiltify doesn't seem to be doing that. Yeah. Anyway. Alright. Get in for SAP, let's continue. We're almost done with this podcast. At Reverb, dude.
So here's the thing. Elon Musk is a nerd.
Yeah, he is. I mean,
no, fake nerd. Okay, I'm a real nerd. I'm a real nerd. Okay. No, he's not no. I have a fucking degree in physics. Okay. Elon Musk has a fake degree in physics. Okay, it's actual stolen valor. Okay, like I actually went through the fucking pain of you know, handing in a weekly problem set every single fucking week and then having a like lab report to hand in every single. Bro, I'm sorry. The people in chat who understand, like the pain of doing a physics degree is insurmountable. I got fucking eczema from doing a physics degree, and I have and for so long I had eczema all over my back, all over my legs. It was fucking terrible. It's the worst thing ever. It's now died down. I've like fucking quashed it, but it fucks up your skin. Like, it is an extremely stressful thing to do a physics degree. You have to be insane, okay? Like, it is not like doing any other BSc. I'm so sorry to all of the people who did a different BSc. I'm so sorry to everybody else who did another degree. But doing a physics degree is actual like brain, your brain will be completely rewired. Like after, and I know, you know what's fucked up? I did my physics degree during COVID, dude, and I had an experimental focus. That shit fucked me up so much. I'm only now like recovering from it. You know, I had never like been someone who'd ever like suffered from depression. It fucked me up so much. There were days after my degree during COVID where I literally didn't want to get out of fucking bed. The one thing that really drew me out of it was the Sans community. It is the most fucked up thing to do. I mean, like, it's okay if you know what I mean? And I feel like other people have the same experience, but when you've got so much to hand in, they expect you to learn so much mathematics outside of everything. They expect you to learn so many different skills outside of your fucking degree. It really fucks you up, dude. And the fact that Elon Musk claims he's got one, fuck you, dude. Holy fuck. And you have to do, by the way, when you do a physics degree, you have to do pure math at the university I went to. You have to do pure math up to like second year. Full second year pure math. And they expect you to code the entire time, even though, like, you don't do comp sci. So you really have to love it. And I did love it so much. And that's why, like I get very frustrated when people have, like, you know, don't really... I get very frustrated by pop science and any sort of, like, very, very bad journalism on scientific issues. Because it's drilled into you. And you know what's the worst thing? Is physicists at working at universities earn fuck all. Okay? Go and ask at your local, if you're still at university, go and ask a fucking professor of physics how much they earn, and you'll be shocked. Do you think they earn a lot? No. The ones that sell out earn a lot. And I'm not, okay, some of them go and work for finance companies, and that's fine. But, like, I'm talking about the ones that go and work for, like, oil companies and shit. Those are the physicists that earn a shitload, okay? But yeah, it's I fucking hate Elon Musk. I hate the fact that he claims he has a physics degree. He doesn't have a physics degree. It's been provably fake. Yeah. Anyway.
Undeniably so.
And it triggers me because I know the pain of doing a physics degree. Okay. Anyway.
So and basically by every definition of it.
Yes.
He's a nerd.
Yes.
You remember earlier how we were talking about how Elon Musk, this is the last episode, about how he loves science fiction.
Does like a
Heinlein's libertarian novel about moon colonization. Well, he gets very interested in space in a real way, not in sort of a theoretical way, in the early 2000s. And in 2001, he joined something called the Mars Society, which is a society which is not, it's not like an obscure sort of group. It's, there's like a lot of,
pisses me off so much.
Lowercase r respectable people in it. And, it's basically dedicated to the colonization of the red planet. At this point, he's recovering from a near deadly bout of malaria.
This is a very odd detail.
Yes. Yeah. He is rail thin. He was in the hospital for like a long time.
He conveniently leaves this out of his mythology.
Exactly.
This is very interesting because, like, South Africans don't get fucking malaria. I want to be... No. I swear to God, the malaria fucked up Elon's brain. No, the fascist apartheid, like... when you don't have to, like, confront the propaganda that's taught to you in school, unlike, like, when you're uber rich and wealthy, like Elon is, okay? When you don't have to confront that shit, then this is what is created. Like, a lot of white South Africans had to confront the fact, like, I speak to my fucking, like, aunts, and they had no idea that apartheid was this bad. Why? Because they were white and privileged, right? Of course they didn't think it was this bad. They were taught all of that fucking propaganda. South Africans were also, like, the South African apartheid education was also extremely anti-communist. Like, my dad learned that America won World War II. Like, straight up. They don't even bring up the fucking Soviets. I told my dad, like, a few years ago, no. Soviet Union, the USSR, like, was the one that won World War II. And he like literally had one of those moments. You know, one of those moments when someone's eyes like dilate and suddenly they're like, you can see they're just having flashbacks of their life and they're understanding like that what they were taught was a lie. Elon has never had to go through that. And he was brought up in the most privileged white South African schools. This is what created the fascist that is Elon. Elon will say that he didn't like apartheid, and that is true to an extent. They didn't like the PR of apartheid. Okay, there's a reason why apartheid ended. Okay, it got unpopular. Like people were saying, you know, I'm being on deadly serious. If South Africa had oil, we'd still be in apartheid. Okay, I've spoken about this so many times. You guys know. This is what I think. Oh no, I never got no. We've got very, very high safety standards in the university I went to. Like it's incredibly high safety standards. There's like a login checkbook, like everything is shielded and lead shielding. Like it's extremely serious. Anyway, but what I wanted to say, but yeah, like this is why Elon Musk is like he hasn't, this is not stuff he's ever had to like confront. He didn't like the aesthetics of apartheid, but everything else that it embodied, yes, he did like a lot. Okay, which is what really I feel like is missing in a lot of analysis about Elon Musk. But I feel like a lot of people can't actually really give that analysis, so I understand. It's like understanding that Elon Musk really, really like is completely a product of apartheid South Africa. This is what happens when you've got a very rich, like millionaire, like extremely wealthy person that was educated at the best schools in South Africa that never had to confront these issues, you know, was too wealthy to ever have to like, you know, understand like the wrongs that were done, that many white South Africans had to go through. Now, I'm not saying pity white South Africans. Of course, I have to say I am a white South African. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when you are that wealthy, okay, you are in a bubble with respect to these issues. Your life doesn't change whether apartheid ends or doesn't. And it didn't really change for white South Africans as well. But there was a lot of shame and a lot of realizing and understanding that the uber wealthy never had to like blink an eye to. Also, like, Elon was fucking Canadian, so like, are there many people from Central African countries in South Africa? Yes. There are lots of... South Africa is like the USA, not in terms of like politics or like, you know, how badly it treats its citizens. Okay, South Africa actually treats citizens a lot more well. I mean, it's not as good. It's still a fucking, you know, capitalist country. But like, yes, there are tons of Zimbabweans, there are tons of Congolese people, there are tons of people from Burundi, tons of people, not really Rwanda, because Rwanda is actually pretty like well off, to be honest with you. Tons of people from Malawi, tons of people from Mozambique that all come to South Africa to work. This is one of the reasons why I don't like the EFF, because the EFF is very, very xenophobic and very like open about the violence that like they feel towards people that are not South African. It's one of the reasons why I can't stand when American leftists like praise the EFF without understanding like how it's very similar to like Indian communists. Okay, it's like you have to understand like there's an aesthetic of leftism, but if you are xenophobic, you are not socialist. Anyway,
because he's a malarial freak. It drove him insane.
Yeah,
now,
his brain is like he's got mosquito.
Also, this makes no sense to me. There's no malaria in South Africa. Okay, maybe very in like Limpopo, Mpumalanga, like areas like that. But like, there's lots of treatment for it. Okay, this makes no sense to me. Like hearing about like, Elon Musk getting malaria, he must have been in some other, like, in a country way northern than Southern Africa. Like, you don't... people did not get malaria in South Africa. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe they did, like where he was. But I've never heard, like, my father worked in Zambia and the DRC. He's a plumber, so he worked on plumbing there. And he never, like, I think he got malaria when he was in Zambia, and then he immediately took things like medication for it. And that medication was still around, especially for very wealthy people back then.
Diseased brain.
What's that shit, quinine? He's fucking mainlining quinine every few days. I mean, the guy's out of his mind. Anyways, so his friends all literally think that like having malaria drove him insane. Cause like, why the fuck are you like? What are you doing? Sprockets now?
Yeah. Because he's like, fuck it, I'm not into banking.
Yes,
I'm gonna go to fucking Mars.
Well, so he starts hosting meetings at around California. I think some in Southern California and some in Northern California with people like James Cameron. And this is all from the Vance book. And scientists from NASA's JPL.
James
Cameron. I don't know. I met with him a couple
times.
He
went into deep sea, not deep space.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
He did Alien, right? No, that's Ridley Scott.
Yeah. No, James. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he did Aliens, which is better than Alien.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's right.
Game over, man. Yeah. That's a great line. Anyways, with scientists from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and with a guy named Michael Griffin, whose resume includes NASA, JPL, and president of In-Q-Tel, the CIA's venture capital firm.
I'll be honest with you. I feel like if Elon like had very bad malaria and he survived it, like this would be something he would be boasting about. I don't know. I don't feel like this is like kind of like. For me, it just is a bit iffy. Maybe he did, but this is not why he's insane. Okay? He's insane because of the education he had, as I've spoken about before. Like, Shunon is correct on this. It's not the fucking malaria. Anyway.
He would advise Musk on space until about 2005 when he took over as the head of NASA.
There's also chronic malaria that stays in your system for life. You know what stays in your system for life? Being educated under a fascist state and being rich enough to never like confront the untruths that you were taught.
This was a big era for private space exploration.
We were talking about this the other day when we were going through a lot of this stuff, and we were saying, like, space was trendy back then.
People loved space.
A lot of everyone was always talking about space cowboys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lance Bass.
Armageddon.
Went to space.
No, so Lance Bass didn't. Liz thinks Lance Bass went to space.
No.
No, he didn't go to space.
I know, but I did correctly identify that it was supposed to be with the Russians.
That was me that did that.
No, it's in the messages. I said, oh, yeah, it was cosmonauts, wasn't it? And you said, yes. Meaning,
okay,
I said it, and you.
Okay, this is revisionist history.
I mean, we can roll the tape, but we won't because we need to.
Okay, let's move on. Yes. Anyways, Lance Bass from NSYNC.
I'm not lying.
Almost became a cosmonaut. I think.
What do you say with the question mark? He wasn't NSYNC.
I can't remember if he was. I think it was NSYNC.
Of course
I don't fucking like
NSYNC.
that kind of music, dude. Anyways, Lance Bass almost goes to space. And in fact, he's still working on it. There's a lot of good pictures of that time. Yes.
No.
Okay.
No. You don't get malaria, as far as I know, as a South African, in South Africa, in 2000. No. We don't have the mosquitoes here that have the malaria bacteria. I don't know. This is like a fucking lie. I need to dig more into it. Like, maybe it's like the one rare case where it fucking happens. Okay, but even in 2000, they had the Northern South Africa. Yeah, but like I'm trying to think. He went on a safari, and the thing is, they had the medication back then. Run, Ryan, run. Like, to be able to mitigate it very easily. And the thing is, when you go into a malaria area, you take malaria pills, anti-malaria pills, every single day to make sure that you don't contract it. Okay? This is not like it's not like you go into an area that has malaria. and you're not taking medication every single day. Okay? You literally take, if you live in an area that has malaria, okay, and you don't have the vaccines for it from birth, okay, you take medication every single day, okay? Maybe use anti-malaria pill like anti-vax. You know what they do in South Africa? Okay, and they also did this in like, you know, almost basically every single school, okay? There's no like fucking bullshit around anti-vax shit here, okay? Like maybe if you're wealthy enough, which could make sense from Elon's perspective. But they literally say, okay, well, they literally line you up in primary school. They say it's vaccine day, and you stand in the line, and you get your fucking vaccine at school, okay? And they've done that since my dad was at school. Okay, my dad is a very similar South African malaria map. Let's see. I have never heard... Yeah. Okay. Okay, Kruger National Park. Okay. That makes sense. But look. Okay, hold on. It's still moderate. There's a moderate... Like, I want you guys to understand. South Africa's like, not like malaria central. Okay. Look at this. This literally proves my point. Look at this. South African malaria map. There is no risk of malaria anywhere here. Okay. We don't know where he went on safari. The Kruger National Park, there is a moderate risk. Okay. And they recommend certain like anti-malarial things that you would take there, especially if you're Elon Musk, you definitely would be taking them, and there's a low risk of it. So he was probably doing a fucking safari in this park, okay? But this red means there's a moderate risk. It doesn't even mean a high risk, dude. And you take medication for it. My father had malaria, but he beat it within a few days because he had the medication for it, okay? This is why I'm so critical. What if he just really wanted malaria to be cool? I just don't think it's a... I mean, maybe he just wasn't taking the medication and shit, but it's not like a big... Like, people in South Africa don't get malaria. Anyway. I can't stand Elon Musk. Holy fuck. I want you to go here. You heard Gremlo, and this is what happens.
What is life like on Bitch Island? I don't know. Ask your
This is
mom.
what happens when you bully Gremlo. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Let me just quickly... thank you for the follow, whoever you are. Hold on. I'm just quickly thinking of this in SAP. I want you to get big. Okay, what? Let's see this.
Yeah, nothing says don't bully me like a dude whenever someone picks a fight with them doing this. Yeah, nothing says don't bully.
He's literally doing the crab rave. You're so right, Eshe.
Original plans are for mice to go to Mars, sort of borrowed from the Mars Society, and then for a greenhouse to be
Why
shot
would you want mice to
Mars.
go up there?
Well, to make sure that it's cool. I mean, chimps went to space. Mice should be able to.
And
Dogs,
yes.
Laika, yes.
Yeah.
And he goes to Russia to buy refurbished ICBMs with this guy Jim Cantrell, is like a former Jet Propulsion Laboratory guy who's got his this guy's got his own insane history that I can't even get into. But at one point, he would have been placed under house arrest by the Russians in the mid '90s over charges of espionage and spying, which is like, what are you spying on? You could literally just go to Russia at that point and buy like a nuke.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Who
you
are
could buy like
spying
a
for?
city at that point.
Exactly.
The CDC doesn't even list South Africa as a risk country on their map, dude. Fuck off. Actually, like, fuck off. Yo. This is like why I can't stand like American propaganda around like African countries. Everyone assumes like everything is disease ridden, and also that South African countries are like, no, it's not in it's intentionally excluded because there is no malaria in South Africa. I've never heard ever of a South African getting malaria in South Africa. I've lived here my whole life. Okay, well, not my whole life. I lived in the UK for a bit. Malaria would depend on the waterways. The water in South Africa is very clean. Okay. No, but also, Eshe, you're also wrong, I'm afraid. Like, malaria, no, it depends on, like, okay, maybe it's the mosquitoes, because mosquitoes do lay their eggs on water. But, like, it depends on a lot more. No, I'm not British. Just type in exclamation mark accent, okay? I don't have a fucking British passport. If I wanted to live in the UK, I literally could not, okay? I promise you. If I wanted to go back and live in the UK, I'm not allowed to. You guys can copium and do all the shit that you fucking want to. I don't care. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna sell you. We're going to buy you. We're gonna put you here. We're gonna freeze you. We're gonna unfreeze you. We're gonna go here. And we're gonna see what happens. I'm not Australian. I'm joking. I know. Don't worry. I'm like Hassan. Like I will shout at chatters, not even mean it. Sorry. I don't mean it if I shout at you, by the way. Unless I'm being serious, and I'm not being serious. Okay. I'm not British. Even if I wanted to live in the UK, the irony is like I did a 23andMe test, and yes, my lineage is very British. Okay. You know what? No, you want to know what's funny about that? I can't even live in the UK if I wanted to. I lived there for like 6-7 years, right? But I wasn't of age. So it doesn't count. And so no matter what, no matter how, all of that, I can't. I literally, like, if I literally cannot live in the UK. I'd have to get a fucking visa, and I'm not doing that. The only time I'll ever get a fucking visa to live in Europe is when Greece gets kicked out of the EU. That's it. Only time. Only time. I will never ever do it, dude. I've got a Greek passport, like.
Anyways, this falls through.
This is like not a real company at this point.
No, the negotiations with the Russians do not go well. So for a few years, SpaceX is basically nothing but branding. Although he has like people, working on stuff, it's mostly just a brand, like a
oh my
quirky
God, this would have
thing
been so good.
By the way, I just want to mention because we didn't mention this,
late.
and I want to point it out. You noticed the X in SpaceX.
Yes, stands for exploration.
Okay, but also we know about Elon's obsession with X.
Did Greece lie to get into the EU? Do I sound like the kind of person who like actually can speak Greek or like knows any Greek? Bro, I went to the Greek embassy to get my passport renewed. You wanna know what's really funny? The fucking person like who was reading my passport and like retaking my fucking fingerprints and shit and like reading my photos and everything literally was talking about like how like Greece was being ruined by immigrants like that were coming in on boats and how it was good that Greece was like sinking the fucking boats full of immigrants. I held my fucking tongue. I was like, okay, yeah, I really don't want to fucking live in Greece, dude. Holy fuck. Yo, like the most reactionary shit.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to point out that he has foisted it onto this brand like a coward at the end.
Yes.
SpaceX. And it will show up in Tesla as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes, it will. But Musk actually gets a contract from NASA for SpaceX in 2006 to provide flights to the ISS. And a year later, the DoD officially sponsors the first 2 launches of their rockets. The thing with SpaceX that actually makes SpaceX like much more sort of straightforwardly successful than Musk.
Let's say viable.
Viable, rather, is that
let's not be too generous.
There's not really any competition for SpaceX.
Well,
I mean, not really any competition.
Yes, of course, like, black tourists are harassed in Greece. Like, any place in Europe where there isn't, like a large black population. I would even go so far as, I would say France is literally the best on this, because France has such a large black population. Not for a good reason, mind you. Like, black people are going to get harassed. Holy moly. Like, it literally, like, any, like, white majority country in Europe. Just look at what happened in Ukraine with, like, South Africans in particular trying to escape Ukraine. Okay, now I know it from South Africans, but do you remember, like, that now South Africa is such an established, like, African nation that South Africa has, like, basically has got embassies all over the world, right? South Africa was one of the only African nations that had an embassy in Ukraine when the war started. And Africans were trying to leave Ukraine on the trains. And you know what they said? They said, no, the white people go first. All of you, some of whom were at Ukrainian universities trying to escape Ukraine, they were like, no, the South African embassy had to represent all of these African nations. I'm being serious. They made black, like African, like nationals leave the train. They weren't Ukrainian. And the South African embassy had to get involved to represent them because their own countries did not have fucking, like, embassies in Ukraine. Insane.
Yes, well, of course. But they're like the real competition at this time is like Raytheon.
Yeah.
It's all government contract. Yeah. And of course, they're fleecing the fucking government. I mean, it's all part of the government. But, you know, these are really, 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 really expensive. Yeah. And his whole thing with SpaceX is like, we'll do it cheaper.
Yeah, he's like, what? I'll just undercut everyone else.
Yeah.
And the government's like, sick.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This actually works in anything. Like, if you ever go to a place and you're like, wow, this is my dream job, literally just go up to the manager and point at, like, a guy who looks like he's doing something you could do and be like, I'll work for $1 less than him.
Okay, don't do that.
If you fire him right now. That works.
That basically is what Elon did, and it fucking worked. Here's the thing. SpaceX didn't work.
Thank you, Elon made Twitter fascist.
No. The first 3 launches fail.
It was actually really sad.
Yes, yeah, and the third launch actually saw the rocket, it was carrying 3 satellites, and according to the New York Times, can you read this?
The ashes of 208 people who had paid to have their remains shot into space, including the astronaut Gordon Cooper and the actor James Doohan?
Okay, anonymous host, you're a genius. You're a genius with the donuts.
I don't know.
Oh my god,
played
you're a
Montgomery
genius.
Scotty Scott.
You're a genius.
The wily, there's a lot of words here. The wily engineer on the original Star Trek television show.
I'm doing that now.
This motherfucker's name is Scotty Scott?
It's not a great...
Scotty, beam me up, Scotty.
Oh, beam me up, Scotty.
That was Rick?
His name's Scotty Scott?
Okay. Rick, you're a genius. I'm copying that now. Okay, I'll be back in a second. I need the bathroom.
Anyway, the service is called an explorer's flight by the company that arranges them, Celestis Inc. Last night, the company's webpage stated, the Explorer's flight mission appears not to have reached orbit tonight, and the Wikipedia pages for Cooper and Doohan had already been edited early Sunday morning to reflect the news.
That's really sad.
It is sad. So they paid all this money. This is why you don't do this kind of shit.
Exactly. Yeah, you should don't die.
Yeah. That's the only way.
This will never happen to me. Anyways, as we get to in a very short amount of time, Musk's financial crises all dovetail around 2008, and he ends up splitting a bunch of his money between Tesla and SpaceX. And the thing is actually he's able to use SpaceX getting contracts really as leverage with a lot of the Tesla stuff, right? Especially in some of the, which we don't really go too far into it, but if you look into like a lot of the Tesla funding rounds, rather, one of them in particular coincides with SpaceX getting a big contract, and Elon is able to fund it.
Yeah, uses it as very clever leverage there.
And their whole thing is they want to bust up this monopoly of something called the ULA.
Yeah, the United Launch Alliance, which that's basically like military, NASA, and all the kind of couple other contractors kind of like just in one little organization.
Exactly. The Alliance. Yeah. The thing is, though, a lot of these groups use Russian rockets or Russian engines for their rockets. And around this time, Russia invades Crimea, or Russia returns Crimea to the fold.
Yeah, to where it belongs.
Yes, and John McCain, a famously queer-coded senator, was outraged by this because he had been sissified by Russians while he was in a North Vietnamese prison camp, and tries to ban ban basically American companies from using Russian rockets. And SpaceX takes advantage of this and sues the Air Force to try to get more and more contracts for SpaceX. And this kind of works.
Yeah.
And they have been doing what my uncle does to make money, which is to constantly sue the government in order for them to give them money, essentially. They are in a long-standing and ongoing contract war with a lot of these different government agencies in order to secure contracts. One contract they did get that was a little off the books operation was they have been launching National Reconnaissance Office satellites into space.
Yeah, that's a big story that, maybe we'll get to that someday.
But that's the kind of satellites that can they're taking pictures.
Yeah, surveillance. So here's the thing. We have now in the chronology reached the point of where we ended the last episode.
Yes.
So, whoops. A little bit more to go.
Again.
If you may recall, the last episode, we ended when a couple of...
All right, sorry, I'm back. We're going to do SAP again. What did I want to say? Oh my god, just go look at Auntie's latest tweet. It's literally something from Hassan's Instagram story that I can't play on stream because Hassan's mum is like watching a movie with a sex scene in it. And it's really funny. No, go watch. Go have a look. Don't even link it in here. Okay. And Hassan's mum, Anna, is going, this is a sex movie. Yeah, link it, you get permed, okay? Don't fucking link it. Just go look at Auntie's latest like, tweet, okay. Right. Are we done with chat? Are we done with you guys getting in for SAP? Are we ready to continue? I know, dude.
Scrappy upstarts in Silicon Valley had a crazy idea to throw a bunch of laptop batteries in a car.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yes.
And then they were like, dang, we need some money so we can make this car a reality. They hook up with the Google guys. Mm-hmm. The Google guys are like, we know this guy who's got a little bit of money.
And he's really stupid.
His name, Elon Musk. So they get all introduced through the Google guys.
Yes.
Okay, well, just
and Elon's
look on Auntie Piker's
I just bought this crazy
Twitter.
$1 million car that I crashed. I love cars.
Big
and I've got
fan.
money. Why don't we do this thing?
And the thing is the
Links,
business
please.
plan that Eberhard and Tarpening have at this point. Remember them? Those were the guys who came up with this little Tesla company. Was they were like, all right, the zero.
Why do you say like it's the T0?
No, it's definitely not. I guarantee you, it's not. It's zero. It's zero. TZ with each other is supposed to make a Z sound. I bet you $500 right now.
Okay.
Okay, the bet. Okay,
Maybe
well then
it
you owe me
was just
$500.
deleted. Hold on.
So their whole business plan is actually to sell these Scion conversion
No,
boxes.
it's from
Elon Musk is like
it's from 19 hours ago. This was from yesterday. Okay, it just appeared on my feed. It's from yesterday, from 19 hours ago. Okay. All right. Wait, is this even Hassan? I don't even know if it's Hassan. Okay, yeah. So you gotta scroll down. Sorry, I assumed it was Hassan. Wait, let me see the original post. Okay, never mind. It's not even Hassan. Sorry, I assumed it was Hassan. It's Brandono's mum. Okay, somebody else's mum. Never mind. I am fake news bear. Alright, that's who I am. So, oh fuck, I even forgot to do the... Okay, I got to distract myself. I forgot to, like, add shit in SAP. Okay, I'm gonna get owned. It's okay.
Lame! I want you to make these fucking sports cars. And in fact, I don't actually really want to make these sports cars. I want you to make some other sports cars. Elon has two conditions for investing. One is that Tesla owns all its own dealerships. And two, he gets to be in charge of everything.
Yeah, I want to one really quick thing because this is something that'll come up later on as we progress through the timeline. The Tesla dealership thing is actually a big innovation.
Yeah.
That's not how buying a car works usually.
No.
And for people out there who have bought cars, unlike myself or Brace, what you usually do is you go to a dealership that are, they're contracted, but there are these separate entities. Elon's like, no, we're vertically integrating.
Yeah.
Now you got to go direct to Tesla's shops. That's the only place where you can buy a Tesla. That's the big condition. And this proves to be very complicated.
Yes.
Confusing, difficult, and kind of terrible idea.
Yeah.
But now they're stuck with it.
Absolutely. And the thing is I said that Elon gets to be in charge, and actually it really starts off with Elon kind of just gets the final say on everything, right? Like he's not running day-to-day operations. He kind of just has ultimate veto power, and he's the thumbs up, thumbs down kind of guy, the man at the end of the line. So at this point, he's mostly focusing on SpaceX. Like he doesn't really, he's really hands off with Tesla. Eberhard is the guy who's doing most of the bulk of the work. So the thing is Tesla isn't a car company. It's just like some guys with an idea for an electric car.
Yeah. They had basically they've never really manufactured a whole car.
Yeah,
they basically
exactly.
Tore out the insides of a car that already existed that someone else made and updated it.
Yeah. And that's kind of what the business plan was at this point, right? Like they weren't trying to make a mass car company that, for, building like your car that you go to work in. They were trying to make like high-end vehicles for divorcees in Silicon Valley.
They're like, it's a novelty company.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Making expensive toys.
So my man Eberhard and Tom Gage, I believe, go to the LA Auto Show, which featured in episode 1, and identify the Lotus Elise as kind of the car that they would like to put their little drivetrain in. Because if you remember, Tesla at this point, their business plan was they were going to use the electric drivetrain from AC propulsion and put that in another car. They identify this car. Lotus is a British automotive company, and the Elise is one of the cars that they make.
Yeah.
It's a
sports car.
It's a sports car. I don't know. What do I look like? A guy who knows what the fuck that?
They literally just pop this drivetrain into the Elise, and they're like, "This is going to be great." Here's the thing.
No,
didn't work.
Doesn't work. Yeah.
No.
The body doesn't fit. The batteries don't fit, and immediately costs begin to soar. So again, Eberhard is running most of the day-to-day work here, and he is the one who's sort of like tasked with discovering and understanding and fixing the fact that the Lotus Elise's body was maybe not the right body type for a lot of the things that they wanted to put into the Tesla. And while this is going on, Elon is having to sign off on most of the big decisions. And so they're having to go through Eberhard kind of up the chain to Elon and then back down. And things are getting a little out of hand.
Well, the whole thing is that, I mean, Eberhard would spend like all this time on all this stuff. Like he's like, okay, we got to do the branding, all this stuff,
great.
30K,
Okay.
logo. And Elon's like, no, trash it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like spending, trashing everything they do. He was really annoyed at how much time that Eberhard was spending on the Roadster launch event.
Yeah.
I lost that sap to someone from my chat. I know it's embarrassing, but this is what happens when you are a streamer streaming Super Auto Pets, and we call it sap. And I just lost to my chat, to someone from my chat. The embarrassment, fuck you chat, oh god, it's bad. There we go. I hate Elon Musk so much, dude.
Yes.
Thinking it was a total waste. And there's this great book by E.W. Niedermeyer. I don't know if we've mentioned him yet on the show.
I believe this is the first time.
He has a great book that was published, I think it was 2019, so it's actually kind of interesting to read now.
Yeah.
Knowing what's happened over the past 2 years. It's called Ludicrous, which is a reference, of course, to the famous ludicrous mode that Elon Musk launches with the Tesla. But Musk was particularly incensed that the New York Times was calling Eberhard the chairman.
Yes.
And like kind of went like ape mode and was like,
he went ludicrous mode.
he did. Why didn't I just say ludicrous mode? Why did
be like
it
that
was right
sometimes.
there.
Well, you chose to go 8, but he basically tells the PR firm, if this ever happens again, then you are fucking fired. Because the thing is like Eberhard is the center of attention during this because he is the fucking CEO of Tesla, not Elon Musk.
Musk was really focused at this point on how cool the car looked. All the little details, like how the car doors worked, the handles, how things felt, how things,
The mouthfeel of the Tesla.
Oh my God. Yes. No, but this is like his primary focus. And even to this day, I mean, this is really what he focuses on at the behest of, say, the innards of the car.
Yeah. He is much more of a door guy than an engine guy.
Yeah.
You could say.
Yeah. And speaking of doors, this is something that he like focuses so much on with the Model X, which of course has the fucking like Batman Falcon Wing
What's the
doors.
time?
Yeah, the
LA?
doors that like prevented production of it. There's all these problems with them.
Awful.
Horrible.
Right.
And that's the thing. I want to do a little real quick. Is there are so many problems with Teslas that if you're like a Tesla nerd right now, in like the good way, like a lot about how they suck dick. You're probably gonna be like, well, how do they mention this? Why don't they mention that? Here's the thing: these cars are bad, okay, and they're bad in a lot of very obvious ways, and they're bad in a more esoteric ways.
Sure, and in wompy ways.
They are very wompy as well.
But we are really going to get into it. I promise.
We are going to get into that, but there
From
are
perfect
so
profile
many
banner?
problems with the cars that we are
Let's go.
not going to get into all of the problems. Okay, this is again, like I mentioned. The Lotus Elise is not the best car to put your little batteries in. And Niedermeyer's book has a pretty jarring, I guess, anecdote from a former engineer who kept finding pretty minor but important problems. And like, we can't do this. And, like, there's this really, like constantly finding problems with these and then trying to address the root of the problems and then basically being shot down and be like, fix it on that specific car, but don't look into it elsewise. He tried to go to like his management with this, and Elon Musk tells him, "We're not building Toyotas here. They don't got to be perfect." That's the thing. They aren't building Toyotas. They are building cool cars for rich people. And the thing is about nice cars is you think that they maybe are supposed to be really reliable because they're nice cars. No, they're not.
No, they're toys.
They're toys. Exactly. So like actually like a lot of very fancy cars aren't that reliable of cars because they're not meant to be used as cars. They're meant to be used to drive along the mountains to the French Riviera. I don't really know
Well, this is like a fucking theme with Tesla, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they aren't building cars to use to do normal stuff. They are building expensive showpieces that end up pumping the brand, which end up, as we'll see, pumping the stock.
Exactly. So, like we mentioned, the car isn't exactly even up to snuff of the technology that it promises. It isn't just like what the technology isn't working with the body of the Lotus Elise. The technology kind of just isn't working. So, I don't know how many people out there are gamers, but when I was younger, like a PlayStation 2s, you'd always hear about people whose game consoles would brick. Like they would just stop working for various reasons and basically just be an inert piece of plastic.
I've never heard this before.
Yeah, well, it's for the fellas.
That's right.
Imagine if you bought the shittiest car in the world and then that happened. Actually, blessing in disguise. But that can actually happen with your Tesla. That has happened for a variety of reasons, including software reasons. But one of the reasons it happens is because of the fucking battery. Tesla's batteries have a long and storied history, but this has been a problem from the beginning.
This is the Roadster, right?
Yeah, well, Roadster, I believe up until now. If you leave your car unplugged for too long, like for a while, like maybe you leave it in the Ed Buck's driveway after you go to a party with him because you're also like an Ed Buck type guy, and then you go on David Geffen's yacht for like 14 months, part of Kimball, and you come back, your Tesla, there's a good chance it will be bricked. And that means it's not just it won't turn on, the wheels won't move. And it'll be like essentially impossible to move. Tesla fans got really pissed when this story came out and like attacked the person.
Yeah,
it was a Tesla. It was a Tesla owner that it happened to.
No, but you can
and
have a
there's, I believe, of the original 2200 that were put out,
like you can have a prescription to weed.
five Roadsters that came out.
Is true
5 were bricked
at
various points.
None of this is covered by the warranty, by the way.
No. That is a huge thing. None of it's covered by the warranty.
And this is the thing, like this car that they're building was basically a prototype that they then rolled out into the public.
Exactly. And like comparable cars like the Nissan Leaf electric car, this has never happened to it because their technology makes sure that it won't.
So you can do that.
You can't.
No, I'm saying you can do that. You can make sure it doesn't.
Yeah, you can leave it in Ed Buck's driveway as long as you want. So there's all of these little design problems that are happening, and there's a huge war over people. Both Musk and Eberhard claiming the other one wanted a 2-speed transmission, and the costs are fucking soaring. This motherfucker is going to cost like $1 billion by the time it's done. But that doesn't stop them from showing off the Roadster at a 2006 auto show in San Francisco, and for the first of many times having to pour water on the engine in between showing it off.
We got to shut down these auto shows. This is becoming a running theme where they have they do these auto shows, and then suddenly they got to make these cars no one can make.
Yeah, and by engine I mean battery, but they keep doing this too. These guys love throwing water on batteries, which is something I was told not to do.
So what's happening?
So they gain, and if this brings you back to episode 1 and the Impact EV1, then
exactly,
yeah,
then you're listening.
A lot of hype from this. People are ecstatic. Oh, look, this balding guy fixed his bald.
If you keep hating on Eshe Albani, I clicked to see who was hating on Eshe, and it's literally Eshe hating on Eshe. Yeah, Eshe. If you keep hating on Eshe, you're banned. Okay.
Baldingness, and now he has hair, and he's got this badass car called a Roadster. Pre-order much? Oh, that was probably the most annoying voice.
Awful.
Saying the most annoying thing that I've ever done on this show.
Based alert?
Pre-order much?
Look, we're the Reddit guys.
Well, now the pressure's on for Eberhard, right? Because Elon Musk is out there being like, check out this motherfucker. And Eberhard, by the way, is also kind of doing this too. But like, it's fucking go time. This company is growing. There are more and more employees. Musk is investing more and more money, sort of solidifying his control over it.
Well, that's the thing, because the more money he invests, the more equity he gets in the company. So he's taking slow control over the company.
And by 2007, only 7 cars were delivered.
They could only make 7 cars.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, funny story about that, actually, is Eberhard was supposed to get the first car. the very first Tesla. Elon says, sorry, bitch, you can get number 2. And so Eberhard, I believe, he gets this in writing. He's like, okay, whatever. I guess this guy has all the money. I'll get number 2. Which, by the way, the first Tesla ever produced is going to be worth a lot more than the second Tesla ever produced.
Sure.
And so Eberhard's like, I mean, he can't do much, so he gets it in writing. Sits at home, waiting for his Tesla for a while. I think by this time he is no longer with the company. And Elon sold the second Tesla to his friend. Eventually, months later, he gets this message saying that a Tesla...
Afghan's thyroid. They're Afghan chatters. I mean, like, Afghan is very skinny, so I can understand why you want to be his thyroid. Yeah.
employee has been doing damaged endurance testing on Eberhard's Tesla.
Oh fuck, no, he has Hashimoto's? Okay, fuck, never mind. Sorry. So we make fun of him for it? Fuck, okay, sorry. Yeah, please cancel me. Oh, fuck.
Endurance testing that involved running Eberhard's Tesla into the back of a semi-truck over and over.
What an asshole.
Exactly. So around 7 months after he was supposed to get the Tesla, he finally gets one. And then burns to death in it after he couldn't get out. Just kidding. That was another person that happened to. But that did happen. So all this is to say, Eberhard is floundering at the company. He is not getting a lot of support. He's asking the board to hire other people. And this is sort of the devious thing that Musk does. So Eberhard is like, I need a CFO. I need like a COO. I need all the other things.
But here's the thing. Musk understands you got to let them lose on their own.
You got to let them lose on their own. So,
he knows you don't get in there. Let him flounder. And this is exactly what he does.
Yeah. As Musk, as chairman, and as the person, if you remember, who has the final say on everything, purposely doesn't approve any hires that would help Eberhard.
Yeah, a saboteur.
Exactly. And so Eberhard...
Well, he takes the fall.
No, I'm
he
on
takes
the
the
final.
fall. He fucks up, and he is out. He's removed from the board, and Musk does a lot of clearinghouse. He replaces Eberhard, not with himself, but with somebody else as a CEO. And fires a whole bunch of people. And a little later, Eberhard writes a blog post, a very mild blog post, by the way, about it, and sort of detailing just who got fired. And Musk immediately cuts his severance. His severance, by the way, was 6 installments of $100,000 in 6 months.
Yeah, Vodo cancels me for non-genuine reasons when you should be canceling for me for this. Fair enough.
Health insurance, which is, I know, isn't that kind of sad?
Yes, that's really sad.
Yeah, for your own company, and he's fucking out. He's fucking fired.
Be honest,
there's a
what was your favorite video of the year? I'll tell you what my favorite video of the year was. This, and I've got another one from Verity Bitchy. Verity Bitchy's video on Eurovision.
In 2013, Russia
is so good. It's so good. Like, insanely good.
Of lawsuits that go down after this.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Eventually, this is one detail we have to include. I mean, there's lawsuits and counter lawsuits and lawsuits and counter lawsuits, but there's one line from a Tesla lawsuit against Eberhard that is really heartbreaking.
If Eberhard is too emotionally fragile to undertake this public debate, he would have been well served not to inject himself into it in the first place.
And part of that public debate was who is a founder of Tesla, because Eberhard was no longer being recognized as one.
Well, funny enough, Musk pulls the same job that he did with PayPal.
Exactly, and declares himself a founder. Eventually, though, the lawsuits pile up so much that he makes a deal, Musk makes a deal, and allows Eberhard to be declared a founder.
Yeah, so now it's Musk, Eberhard, J.B. Strobel, Mark Tarpenning, and Ian Wright. But there's no mention of Gage or Cocconi.
Even though, of course, I mean, they aren't technically found.
Save me from the love that I become. Save me from the worthless I've become. Ooh, to life. Wake me up inside. Sorry, I don't actually know the lyrics.
Founders of the company, but they are the people who invent the technology that made the
Thank
company.
you, 34MKD50 for the 50.
But the important thing is you only think of Elon Musk as the founder of Tesla.
Exactly. I mean, who the fuck is thinking of J.B. Strobel? I mean, honestly, you sound like a fat Dutchman.
I'm still alive.
Okay, so to Elon's personal life, while all this is going down, Elon Musk said 2008 was the hardest year of his life.
Well, that's the thing. It actually was.
Yeah, he had a pretty rough year.
2008 is a really bad year for both Elon personally and Tesla. We should start with Elon personally because
2008 is also like a bad year for anyone who like exists in the world personally. You want to know something really funny? My parents moved to South Africa at the end of 2007. To a small town. They thought they'd made a lot of money to be able to live comfortably without like having jobs for a while. My father's a plumber. One of the reasons why like I look back and I can see how America affected my childhood. Because there were days that I grew up without like there wasn't food on the table. You know what I mean? And that's America. And like that's like for me, like of course. Still, I'm an incredibly privileged person. But I remember like my parents not being able to afford food. And that was like big, but the thing is like the difference is, okay, like my parents could still like afford like they owned property, so it wasn't as if like there was nothing. There was just no liquid like income, okay? They didn't own like multiple properties, if that's what anyone sort of assumes. It's just they still owned like property and like land. But they didn't have like money to be able to like, you know, put food on the table because of like how bad, yeah, it was with regard to like 2008. And it wasn't because like the banks couldn't give them money. They just didn't have any income coming in because they'd moved in 2007 from the UK, thinking, okay, we've made a lot of money in the UK. I mean, not a lot by like other people's standards, but they thought like we'll, you know, the rand is not as strong as the pound. We're gonna be fine. And so it was just like, I mean, you know, like it's. I've never come from a very wealthy family. How am I still alive? Shut the fuck up, Toxic SJW. Okay, we're gonna continue. But anyway, yeah, like fuck. It's one of the things I look back on and I can see like intimately like how it affected, how America like affected my life. That's still a very privileged position because like so many of you in chat like have had America fuck up your countries. You know what I mean? Sans HOTD. Let me be as live as long as I want to, okay?
It's much funnier.
Gladly.
He gets a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of divorce in this story.
The man loves to get divorced. Remember Justine? We've talked about several times. You don't remember Justine? I guess you're
the
probably
one who
cooking or something, not paying attention.
At the Sydney Olympics.
Yes, yeah. Well,
Michael
he's dropping her
Musselman.
ass for an actress. So she wrote
Merry
a
Christmas.
sort of tell-all article in Marie Claire, which is
Marie Claire.
Marie Claire.
Bye,
It's actually a
35K,
subsidiary of Marie Claire.
Of what?
You're
Marie
funny.
Claire. It's a subsidiary. That's a French version,
Mm-hmm.
which has a lot of insane shit. That like, I mean, you could just read that whole thing and be like, okay, I get Musk, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he comes off as a total fucking
Not great.
freak. Yeah. During their wedding, they're dancing up close. He puts his just weird kind of, his face looks like fungus up to her ear and says, "This is their first dance at their wedding. I am the alpha in this relationship."
Fellas, don't do that.
No, don't do that. You got to demonstrate you're the alpha, bro.
That's so
Okay.
awful.
By having her dance, tricking her into
Also-
dancing with another guy at the wedding and beating that guy's.
Okay, do we do more SAP or do we do like Suika PvP? I feel like we do Suika PvP. I'm done with SAP. Okay, who's going against me?